What's up, you guys? Welcome back to The Real ZB. If you don't already know, I'm Zintle and I have relocated from East London to Gqeberha. This has resulted in me trying to find the perfect home for me and my husband. So let me share with you the journey it took for us to find our perfect home. So before we dive into all of the places that we went to go see, let me just give you a lowdown on all of our requirements. So we were looking for something that is more than 2 bedrooms, 2 or more bedrooms, something that is spacious, somewhere with a kitchen with a built-in stove, in a safe and accessible neighborhood. And we also had a budget that we wanted to stick to. At first, we were thinking of getting an apartment because, we are a family of 2, so we don't really need all that much space. So we felt like if we were to get an apartment, then that would be absolutely perfect for us. It would be small enough and just cozy enough for us too. And also just generally, apartments are a lot more affordable than full-on houses. So that's where our thinking was, and that's pretty much the basis of our preferences. That's where that was. So let's get into all of the places that we went to go and view, and how I felt about each place, and how I felt about apartment hunting in general. Let's get into it. So nice. I like it. Bathroom. This is washer dryer, which is perfect. Oh wow.
It's a nice.
Yeah. Then second bedroom. Cute. Does it go outside?
Does it? It is going to be some noise until they finish that block.
Yeah.
The noise is mainly now while they're building.
Yeah, that's what I'm
When
saying.
it's up and the roof is off.
Okay, so this is the first place that we actually saw, and I remember just rushing to this appointment because I was coming straight from East London, and literally without even putting my bags down or anything, I had to go straight to this appointment. So all in all, I really love the apartment itself. I love the fact that, the walls are light, it's beautiful, it's kind of modern, the kitchen is a little bit cozy, but we can work with that. It's not completely tiny. I loved the finishes of the washer and dryer, that laundry area. I thought that was a really nice touch. And a really nice thing about this apartment was that it's got 2 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms. So that was really sort of amazing for the size of the apartment. It's actually quite spacious. Even the bedrooms that it has were quite spacious. The lounge is also kind of like an open concept kind of thing. But however, the one thing that really concerned us was the fact that this apartment was directly in front of a construction site. Okay, I preferred not to live near a construction site because it's kind of risky to live near construction or on the property where construction is being done because of there's a lot of things that happen, but among the things that happen normally when there's construction on the property you're living on, there's normally a lot of break-ins, and you never know just what could happen in South Africa when you have unknown people just coming in and out of the building. So for me, it was kind of like a safety hazard. And also it was like sort of in the earlier stages, and there was still going to be another phase built on to the apartment complex. So on the days where I'm working from home, I don't think that would be an ideal situation. And also on the days where I want to film my videos for the channel, it wouldn't be like a good thing to be living near a construction site, because all you'd hear is drilling and knocking and hey, this. So for me, the construction thing was kind of a deal breaker. And then another deal breaker was the fact that the backyard kind of situation in the apartment, there wasn't any barricades between the units on the ground floor. So it was a ground floor apartment, but there were no barricades. So you could literally walk into the neighbor's yard, and immediately in the neighbor's yard, or my yard, or what would have been my yard, is a big sliding door. So that's also kind of like a safety hazard, because you can get anyone wandering in at all hours of the day. And you know, just the privacy aspect of it was not there for me. So yeah, that's basically why we decided we will not go with that one. So let's look at the next one. Okay, and this one, it was a letdown, to say the least. It was a joke. Okay, I felt like I was being punked. I felt like I was being pranked or something. But this particular apartment, it looked so spacious on Property 24. But when I actually got there, it was tiny. It was tiny. It was tinier than Uronta. It was literally so small. And because there was a family still living in there, I was unable to take, video clips. But I will, have some pictures of the place just going up here. But it was literally so small, okay? And it just didn't give me, there was no connection between us and the place. Like, we weren't connected to it in any way. And it was just, it was tiny. I know we're a family of two, but it was tiny, okay? So it was kind of a letdown, and it wasn't even in the running. So let's just swiftly move on to the next one. Okay, so this one, it also had a family living in there, so I'm just gonna put up pictures. I didn't feel like I should take clips while there was people there. And also, there was a lot of us going to this viewing, so I kind of chickened out at the last moment. But we moved. So this one, I was very excited about it because it was like in the same sort of neighborhood as my work. So I was like, yes. But when I got there, first of all, on Property 24, this particular unit looked spacious, okay? And the kitchen looked beautiful, and it was modern and luxurious, and it was, light and bright, and it had a lot of light coming in. I don't know if it was the camera angles or what was going on, or if there were filters used. But when I got there, first of all, the lounge area wasn't that spacious. The kitchen was placed in a very weird way. I just didn't expect that the kitchen would be where it was. But to be honest, it was very true to the picture. However, the apartment itself was very dark. Okay, it was very dark. We went there at around like 4 o'clock. So it's still pretty much daytime. But it was very dark, and all the lights were on, but it was very dark, especially like the living space and the kitchen. So super dark. But one thing that I really loved about this apartment were the bathrooms. The bathrooms were so luxury that I was like, wow, these bathrooms are so well made. And also the rooms, the bedrooms, it was 2 bedrooms. They were also true to the pictures. It was just, the living space in the kitchen that was a little bit of a letdown. And also another thing that I loved about this place was that the outdoor space, the patio, the backyard, whatever, it had gates on both sides. So the privacy element was there for this one. So, but yeah, because it was dark and it felt kind of dingy, yeah, decided not to go with that one, because you know, when you come home, you want to come home to something that feels like home. You don't want to come home to something that's going to pull down your mood, that's going to, you know, if you have a bad day, if it's going to bring you into a worse day, or it's going to bring you down to make your day even worse. So that's why I feel like I like to have like brightness or bright walls and bright lights, and a lot of sun, because my environment tends to dictate my mood sometimes. So it was not going to be ideal to stay in a place that was going to be dark. And for filming, obviously, it was not going to be a good vibe. So let's move on to the next one. This is number 4. I've never seen one of these before. Very good one. This is the part that's soaking. Which one is Woolbrook? Are they both?
Both got showers, yeah. Well, one's a bath shower.
Oh, yeah.
And the ensuite is a full on.
Because I do like a bath. This bedroom 2 is quite spacious, and cupboards also quite spacious. Let's just check. It's got the one drawers, then bedroom. It's got a lot more cupboard space, and I'm pretty sure I can fit like my queen bed there. Like it's quite spacious, and I like the fact that it's got USBs and a sliding door. That's cool, that's cute. And then there's a shower, which I love. Toilet, and I love this about it. I love the sink, and I love that it's got countertop space as well, and cabinets, which is quite rare. And light. See, I would expect like things to be like perfect. Really would like it to be like pristine and close to perfect, like things like this and this and this and the stove. I like it, but for way less. So this one was, I had the most fun with this one. This one was a little bit more expensive. Okay, it was a lot more expensive than the others, but you know, it was still within budget. And it was more luxurious than all of the other ones. It was modern, but with luxurious finishes. So the kitchen, the lights and everything else just gave you budget. Okay, it just said luxury. So because of that fact, we were actually very excited about this particular unit. We went to view it. When we were viewing it, it was giving luxury. From the moment that you came into the gate, you were like, okay, this is a good area. This is a nice area, okay? And as soon as we got into the unit as well, you know, oh, the finishes on the kitchen countertops were just top notch, okay? Until we got inside the kitchen and the stove was kind of like rusty and old and raggedy. So I was just like, not for this price. Not for this price. But you know what? Everything else looked nice. We had two glossy covers, kumnandi. And then, as you saw, when we went into the bathroom, there was like sort of, I don't know, marks or mold, I don't know what it was, on the mirrors, on the bathroom mirrors. So I was just like, how are you going to pay that much for this apartment and still have it not be perfect? Like at that price point, it needs to be darn near perfect. So we were like, it's a nice apartment and everything, but yeah, because of those few things, it's not for that price. And also, as we were leaving the apartment, we realized that it's actually right next door. Like the unit the unit that we went to go view was right next to a creche. Right next to a creche. I was like, absolutely not. Even if I was willing to negotiate and overlook, like maybe have them replace the mirror or the stove or whatever, so that it can be at least up to its standard, the standard that it's supposed to be at. But the fact that it's near a creche, not even near a creche, next door to a creche, where children are going to be screaming. Listen, guys, I love children, but can they not scream when I am trying to work or when I'm trying to sleep in? Like, can that be arranged? You know? So I was like, absolutely not. I can't live next door to a creche. It's the same as a construction thing. Like the noise, it's not gonna be. No, no, no. So we move on to the next one. Like from the door to here, it's quite a walk, which is nice. And then, cool. Awesome.
And the beaver comes with it as well.
Really?
Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah.
So the fridge and what else can fit here?
I just want to see. So a dishwasher or washing machine.
Okay. And also there.
And also there.
It's a nice size as well. Kitchen and gas.
Gas hob. I know the units at the top have got electric hobs, so that's quite nice.
Yeah, this is nice. And this detaches, right? So like when you need to go fill it.
Right. Yeah, you won't have to go buy a whole new one, you'll just have to get it full.
Okay. Something plugged in here. Oh, it's probably electricity.
Yeah, that's the electricity meter that's plugged in there.
Yeah, I like the colors.
And it's prepaid electricity and prepaid water, which
Water.
is nice as well. So you won't be unfairly charged.
Yeah.
That's
Nice.
I think that there's power.
Yeah. And it's one bath, hey?
Yeah.
With a shower and this cabinet.
It's obviously different owners and different preferences, but
That's good though. Because sometimes you don't you want the light, like natural light without people seeing what you're doing. And pretty similar in size as well.
this one's just got more colors.
Yeah, and more light.
Yeah.
It's huge though.
It is.
Okay, so this one I didn't really spend a lot of time here. Let's start with inside. Inside in Tlewethu, it's, you know, bright, light, spacious, modern finishes. I think it's also got a gas stove, which is a good, you know, selling point because of load shedding. But one thing that I didn't like and that I knew was a deal breaker is the fact that it was literally still in the very early stages of the first phase of building. So yeah, it was also the construction factor. Even though like the agent was telling me that no, the site manager is always on site, blah, 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 blah. But I was just like, I just don't want construction, just period. Just construction, no. So yeah, quickly in, quickly out, because we knew that we're not gonna live in a thing, in a complex that's still under construction. So we had to let that one go. From here all the way there, all the way. It's actually quite big from the outside as well. All the way there. So this whole thing is the house, and it's near the gate as well. It's a good size.
Yes, they are, and they also do.
Okay, so this one was probably my personal favorite, and we actually almost pulled the trigger on this one. I don't remember if I was able to take like videos or pictures, but let me set the scene for you. So this particular unit was in a complex. However, it was I think it was a townhouse. The complex does have some apartments on one side, and it's got some townhouses on the other side. It's got a garage and a parking space. It's got 3 bedrooms. The kitchen was also just in-land, was modern. It had the lounge was not the biggest, but workable. The bedrooms were quite spacious. They were quite, yeah, it was bigger than I had envisioned in my mind. I feel like the pictures from P24 didn't do it that much justice. The main bedroom was absolutely stunning. It also had like its little bathroom, which was so cute. And then it had like sort of a backyard patio place, which was a little bit bigger than the patios that I had seen prior to going to this house. So yeah, we were gonna pull the trigger on this house literally. But one thing that made us skeptical is the fact that the price on P24 was not the price that the agent was telling us. So we were like, why is the story not straight? And the price kept changing on P24, and then it kept changing with the agent, and we were just like, so we were just like, we'll wait, and if we haven't found something by such and such a date, then we'll come back to this one, you know, because at that time, like, we just wanted to be in our own place, you know. We just wanted to be settled and just, you know, moving forward. So we were just like looking for places like this, and we were just like, okay, as much as we want to move right now, but let's just give it some time and see what else is out there. So let's move to the last property that we viewed. That is not the one we took. Okay, so this house is the house that broke our hearts, because after we had been talking about the previous house that we were talking about, we decided that we actually don't want to live in a complex. For various reasons, just personal reasons, we did not want to live in a complex, and we decided that actually we don't want to live in a complex. So we found this cute house. It was 2 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms. It had a garage, remote controlled. It also had a remote controlled gate. It had like a decently big yard, modern finishes, like spacious. Intle man, intle, and in the neighborhood that we were looking at, in the neighborhood that we preferred. So we went to view the house, and first red flag was the fact that there were so many people at the viewing. But you know, I don't mind a challenge. So whatever, it's gonna be Hunger Games. So we viewed the house, fell in love with the house, connected with the house. And literally as we are at the viewing, this lady tells us no, she's already given the house to someone else. And I was just like, in my mind, like, then why call all of these people here if you already have a person for the house? I mean, it was such a waste of time. And also the fact that I had told myself that house that's the house, you know. It was very demotivating. I was very demotivated after that. I actually like gave up on looking because I was just like, yeah, no, let me take a break because my heart can't take this anymore. My heart can't take it anymore. So yeah, after that house, I took a little bit of a break. And I think it was just randomly when I was on P24, I just had the annoying thought to go on P24 just on a random day. I think it was a Monday also. I don't even know. It was just in the middle of the day. I just had the thing to go on P24. I went on and I saw this place, and I was just like, what? And what? And what? So then I quickly contacted the agent to say, I'm interested. And literally she was like, can you make it at 6 o'clock tonight? I was like, 6 o'clock? We were literally viewing this house in the dark. But yeah, we just felt a connection. We felt like it was home, and here we are now, child, in our new home. So yeah, from next week you are going to be seeing us moving in the house. So I'm so excited to be finally fully moved in. I'm so excited to decorate. I'm just so excited to be settled finally, so I can focus my mind on other things, okay? So yeah, guys, this house has been everything that we have been looking for, everything that we have been praying for. It literally feels like a dream. It feels like an answered prayer. But the thing about living in your answered prayer is that sometimes imposter syndrome tends to grip you by the neck. I actually expand more into this and how I'm feeling in this video right here. So if you're interested in that, go ahead and click, and I'll see you next week for another video. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Bye.